good afternoon. We are Arise, and we are giving low vision people the fifth sense of sight back again.
Meet Brian Aylesworth, who is a 14-year-old high schooler from Sunnyvale, California. Now, Brian loves to do robotics. He loves to sing in choir. He's just like any other high schooler boy. However, he's born with a condition that means that he cannot see things that are very close to him. It's called low vision, and Arise seeks to solve this problem.
But there are more. 2.7 million Americans have low vision, and worldwide, 250 million people. So this is how you can see the normal picture, but this is how the low vision people actually sees the everyday life. They cannot read normally as you do, they cannot see the television and do daily basis stuff.
So, in terms of market opportunity for our company, we really see ourselves targeting three main markets, and they get more and more specified. So our most specific market is for high school and college students with low vision within the US, which is around 210,000 students, giving us a market value of around 12.6 million. And then that gets expanded to people with low vision globally, which is around 246 million people, giving us a market value of $14.8 billion.
Over the past 4 weeks, we've developed two prototypes. The first is an app that we're going to be launching in the next few weeks. And what this app allows you to do is you can take a picture of whatever textbook you're reading. It analyzes that image and brings it into your app where you can zoom in, change the font, change the colors of the background and the text. And this, from reading Stanford journals, medical journals, has proven to help low vision people to read text. And over the last 3 days, we've had 160 plus site visits, we've had 40 plus subscribers to our newsletter, and we've also visited a doctor at the New England College of Optometry, where we talked and learned a lot of insight. And so this is just the demo for the first prototype. The other prototype that we're going to also mention is the VR that we integrated our app into the VR, and basically it's a live camera feed where you can have GPU image filters along with the VR headset. And so here we can see the use of color contrast, which is really helpful in terms of reading for textbooks for low vision people.
So we also looked at our competition. So we visited many optometrists, and we also done a survey with low vision people, over 100, and we found out the priorities. So they are looking for affordability and functioning. So based on functioning, we having 4 core functions that we are developing also more. And based on functions, we are starting with DaVinci that costs around $2,000. Our product is $5 per month. And also we are doing affordable solution for people who cannot pay that much for the hardware.
So in terms of our revenue model, the way that we are going to be generating revenue is through a monthly subscription, and that's going to be about $5 per month. And with this subscription, users get any app updates or new features, and they are able to try out a 1-month free trial. And in terms of expansion methods, in year 2, we plan on expanding to phone mounters so that you can physically move your phone and not have to hold it the entire time, and also VR headsets to make it a more immersive experience. And in terms of profit, within year 4, we hope to generate around $1.15 million.
So, and based on our future plans, we are currently seeking out for cooperation with low vision schools and low vision organizations to get into communities that are already created. So we will get in the promotions and discounts. The next is partnerships with optometrists to get the leaflets and actual MVP in there to test it on the patients. And also we are developing a customizable VR headset, so you don't need to hold your phone, but you just put your VR headset that will be customized based on prescription for your eye from doctor, and would be in a package delivered with 1 year subscription.
So meet our team. We are a passionate group of people and from very diverse backgrounds, and we know that we can execute and carry out our company vision. So this is Sylvia, she's from Slovakia, and she's in charge of design and sales marketing. I'm Simran, I'm from New Jersey in the US, and I'm in charge of finance and company strategy. And what really made me passionate about this topic was the fact that my dad, a few years ago, was diagnosed with a condition called keratoconus, and because of that, he's had to take time off of work, and he finds getting work done very difficult. And then this is Justin, who's in charge of product management, and he's our coder and engineer from California, and he's involved in a nonprofit called New Visions of Tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Murat. And I do want to just note the design here is white on black for low vision people. I thought that was clever. Next up, we have Polyspectrum. You can just keep it open the whole time, and then go to the next one.
Alright, so we are Polyspectrum and we want to tackle media bias one issue at a time. You see, bias is not exclusive to the United States. It's a worldwide issue. Bias is prejudice in favor or against one person, group, compared with another. And over here, we have two headlines published at the same time about the same topic, but from two very different sources. The New York Times and Fox News, one liberal and one conservative. The New York Times reported many politicians lie, but Trump has elevated the art of fabrication. But on the other hand, Fox News said impeach Trump, liberal media profiteering from anti-Trump clickbait. You see, if you just read one of these articles, you would not get a holistic review of this issue. You would be getting a very biased perspective. That brings us to our problem. When it comes to getting news about politics and government, liberals and conservatives inhabit different worlds. And there's very little overlap when it comes to getting news. So, if you're just discussing politics with friends, or just reading news online, chances are you're interacting with like-minded individuals who share the same political views.
During the last month, we have conducted several research, including surveys and one-on-one interviews across the Boston area with people from all across the political spectrum, Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians. And what we found was astonishing. 95% of people believe the media is biased to some extent. 68% of people do not trust the media at all. And then we have 75% of people who actually want a solution that provides a holistic approach towards the media. This is our entire problem. And as one person said, Adam, a recent graduate from MIT, I really wish I had the time to read the news. I really do, but with work just starting, I just cannot spare the time.
So our solution to tackle this pressing issue is to create a website where you collate news from a variety of political sources to give readers an informed view of the current political situation and change how they interact with media. So we'll show you a brief live demonstration of the website right now. As you can see here, the website takes news sources from a variety of political sources from all across the spectrum. So we have CNN here, which is on the left, we have Breitbart, which is on the right, and we have center sources such as like AP here, to really give readers a sense of the entire spectrum. We also have a spectrum down here, which uses live user votes, where they vote on the ranking of different articles to rank news sources as how conservative or liberal they are. Using the search feature up here, we also allow users to find out more about a certain issue. So for example, if I want to find out more about Congress, I can search it up here, and the website will list the most recent articles about Congress from a variety of sources. We also have something called Polyspectrum Summary, which is when we use natural language processing to scan an article and find the most relevant sentences. And using this, we display the article and condense it down into one paragraph. So using this, readers can gain the sense of an article with only one paragraph.
Over the past 2 weeks, we have generated traction while our website is live by one-on-one targeting and poster placement all around MIT campus. Doing this, we have generated 500 unique visitors and 400 of them are returning. Going on forward in the future, we plan to do very targeted social media advertisements towards undecided voters between the age of 18 and 35 who are trying to form an opinion. We will also use search engine optimization. We have found a number of keywords that are very highly searched at unbiased news but have low competitors. By the mid of year 5, we're estimated to hit 1 million users. Talking about a revenue model, at first we were going to do ad revenue as our central model of generated income, but then we got feedback that this was very centralized and a low profit way of monetizing our company. So we moved into Google surveys and data selling. Using surveys, we will apply to Google, which have a very much higher CPM than ad revenue. and that selling will include how our users interact with the website, how they vote, for example, on an article of CNN, the liberal conservative, but will not include private information.
But now it's time to meet what actually makes Poly Spectrum the best, our team. We're a group of 4 like-minded individuals from across the entire world. We have Nurvik, a great guy from Singapore and our programming god. Mustafa, our in-house Steve Jobs, and the best designer you could have in the entire world. We have Borja, our networking prodigy from Madrid, Spain. And myself, Jose, the money maker from Mexico.
So, what's next for Poly Spectrum? Number 1 on our agenda is a mobile app. Everybody's a phone, that would be a great market for us to tap into. The second thing is a demographic-specific spectrum. How cool would it be to see what MIT students think about CNN and where they rank on the spectrum? The third thing is the 2018 midterm. This is by the time we want a good amount of users and really nail down our website and have a solid following. The fourth thing is international expansion. Media bias is not exclusive to the United States. It is prevalent across the world in countries such as Mexico, Spain, and even Singapore. The fifth thing, this is our Super Bowl, the 2020 election. By this point, we want to have a critical mass of users and really make an impact, preventing what happened in the 2016 election, where polarization got the best of us.
We are Poly Spectrum, and we want to change the way you read the news. Thank you.
Next up, Pemberley.
Hi everyone, we are Memorably, and our mission is to personalize the way that kids connect with grandparents so that they both feel a part of each other's lives.
Okay, so ever since I was young, I was really close with my grandmother. We used to have these hour-long phone calls where we would talk about everything from sports to books to movies. And as I grew older, I got busier and busier, and I couldn't always make time to call my grandmother. So recently, I picked up the phone to call her, and she starts crying. So I say, "Why are you crying?" And she says, "I'm just so happy that you thought about me. I'm just so happy that you reached out to me and that you remembered me." And in that moment, I realized that even though I do really care deeply about my grandmother, sometimes I forget to let her know that. So that's why I created Memorably, because we wanted to provide people with a chance to connect memorably with their grandparents. Thanks to the baby boomer generation, the number of American senior citizens is growing rapidly. Roughly 10,000 people are turning 65 every day for the next 20 years. So the future is bright for the senior industry. Currently, we're targeting first-year college students, who we found to be the most likely people to buy gifts for their grandparents. Overall, our total addressable market is students that live away from their grandparents. And later on, we want to expand our market to target all members of the family.
For grandparents who feel out of touch with their kids, our company Memorably creates personalized memory books for kids to send to their grandparents. Our process is simple. First, we aggregate photos from your different social media accounts, and then, if you choose to do so, you can write your own personalized message that we can later handwrite. Using this information that you provide, we create a personalized memory book that we send off to your grandparents. It's that simple.
Our revenue model is that simple as well. For $8, you can get a personalized photo book with all the content from different social media platforms in one place. For an additional $3, you can get a handwritten note shipped to your grandparents as well, along with the photo book. You don't have to handwrite this note. We'll do that for you. You just have to type it out on the form and submit it online. Also, if you want your photos curated and filtered by us, an additional $2 will have to be paid for that service.
Okay, so let's take a look at our promo video.
This is Memorably. Memorably gives you a chance to start again. Gets you photo books it's for your grandparent can't forget. They make it through the darkest part of the night. And you're never so close. This is Memorably. Memorably. This is Memorably. Memorably.
Thank you to everyone who helped in making that.
Memberly stands out from competitors in two aspects. First of all, we provide a very affordable and cost-efficient way to create memory books. While most competitors charge $29.99 for a standard 8x8 hardcover photo book, we charge only $8, and this includes compiling all your photos and shipping them directly to your grandparents. Memberly also stands out in that we provide a very easy and efficient way to create memory books. All you have to do is add us on social media, and we will compile 10 high-quality photos of you to ship directly to your grandparents, unlike competitors such as Walgreens or Canvas, or My Canvas, where you have to create a photo list to be created for your photo. Over the past week, we've been improving our MVP and getting sales. Currently, we have 21 paying customers, both from launch and outside. This is $150 in revenue in just 1 week period of time. We expect to grow even faster when we have our platform fully functional and start marketing. Those that bought the book and received them really enjoyed them. Chandana said that, "I am so excited to give this to my grandmother. She is always complaining about how she never sees pictures of my sister and I because she doesn't have a Facebook." Many expressed interest in paying for a subscription model of either monthly or seasonal to have their photo books to be mailed to their grandparents. Some expressed that they are willing to pay $15 to $20 per book, as opposed to our current price of $8 after seeing our actual product.
To truly understand our product, you also had to understand our team. We all come from very diverse backgrounds, and we all live far away from our grandparents, and that's why we were all young entrepreneurs seeking to bridge that generation gap. Our team has complementary skill sets, and that has helped foster communication and creativity. I'm Keisha, and I'm responsible for marketing and design.
I'm Karina Pang, and I'm in charge of business development. I'm Rita Berry, and I'm in charge of logistics.
I'm Salman, I'm in charge of media and content. So these are our revenue projections for the next 5 years. We're looking to start off year 1 by selling 1,000 units at $8 per photo book, which will give us a revenue of $8,000 and a net income of $3,000. As we go ahead, we look down to drive down the costs, and by year 5, we hope to hit $1 million in revenue and $380,000 as our net income by selling 100,000 units of photo books. Currently, our app is under development, and this is our killer thing. It's supposed to increase efficiency and reduce time, increase our time, better time management of all our team. This app is going to aggregate all the photos of our all social media platforms in one place, allowing us to not manually create them as we're doing it now. This will allow us to do better things, like, for example, our global outreach. We are going to tap into the global market, which will connect grandparents to grandkids from all over the world.
Thank you for listening.
If you want to see more videos like that, go subscribe to our Memberly.
Hello everyone, we are Wearably, and we are creating the 21st century medical wristband. So this is why we care. This isn't a fake customer that we made up, but a real kid. Luke is a 7-year-old from South Carolina who enjoys building Legos, reading to his younger sister Alexa, and playing soccer. While he has a relatively normal life, there's one thing you should know about him. When Luke was 2 years old, he was on a trip to Target with his grandparents, and like any kid, he took one of the free cookies. Shortly after taking a bite, however, he had an anaphylactic shock reaction and was sent to the hospital. He was then diagnosed with a life-threatening tree nut and peanut allergy. From that day forward, both Luke and his parents knew that his life would be changed. They do everything that they can to protect him, but they know that he needs to have a relatively normal life. One of their greatest fears is that an emergency will strike when they're not there to protect him. While they understand and know what to do in an emergency, not everyone around Luke does. That's why we're creating Wearably.
To give parents a peace of mind and to allow bystanders to properly react to emergencies, we propose a new solution, a 21st century medical wristband equipped with NFC technology that will allow users, bystanders, to, with the tap of a phone, access all the essential emergency information they need. With that, they'll have access to the secure information stored in the database that is parents include the details they want in the phone, and bystanders will have access to that information instantly, 2 to 3 seconds. Also, it's personal. As I said, parents choose every detail of the information they put in, and kids can choose from a variety of cosmetic ways to wear our product. We're beginning with wristbands, but that's not all. We're planning on earrings, rings, necklaces, you name it.
So, as Luke is not the only person who suffers this, over 7 million children in the US alone are diagnosed with severe allergies and medical conditions. That gives our initial beachhead market a value of almost $200 million. We also have our segmented market, which are citizens of all ages in the US who are between the ages of preschool and adulthood who are also diagnosed with medical conditions. Therefore, and our total addressable market are all global citizens suffering from any allergy and severe.
To begin, we did a lot of primary market research with parents in our target market and found that the 2 most important factors to them were design and ease of use. So then we looked at the competitors in our market and first found older bands in the bottom left, which are hard to use because they don't incorporate any technology and have bad design. In the top left, you see Help ID and Tap to Tag, which are most similar to us in that they both use NFC technology. However, they don't have attractive designs and therefore wouldn't appeal to children. In the bottom right, you see Road ID and Lawrence Code, which both have attractive designs. However, they both use QR codes and PIN codes, so they're not instantly accessible in emergency situations. Therefore, we combined both these factors, design and ease of use, to create our product. We validated the need for a solution through many different avenues. We started off by reaching out to parents. We joined over 20 Facebook groups with different conditions and talked to the parents to see their day-to-day needs, what they wanted specifically for their children. We've also reached out to partners to begin beta testing, and when we get back, we'll be working with Stanford's Bing Nursery School and St. Matthew's School to use our product with their students. We've also reached out to companies and professionals. We're in contact with the director of Stanford's Allergy and Asthma Research Center, as well as a senior partner global sourcing specialist for manufacturing purposes. We're also working with the CEO of Spoken, an allergy app, who is also a former venture capitalist and can connect us to professionals. Finally, we're working on promotion. In September, we'll be going to the UN Global Compact Leader Summit, as well as the World Maker Fair, and hope to be selected for Startup Grind in February.
So for the finances, for our revenue, we seek to generate $250,000 of revenue by the end of 2018, garnering $125,000 in profit. In 2020, we hope to have $1.25 million in revenue with $573,000 in profit. And then by 2022, we want $2.75 million in revenue with $1.26 million in profit. And so for our revenue model, we're going to be selling a single wristband for about $50 a unit in the first year, with mainly through e-commerce and connecting to these groups of people who are very well networked, looking for solutions for their kids. But then we're going to expand into partnerships and more of a B2B model as we continue to grow, and also, again, innovating with new product lines later on.
Behind every successful company is an even more successful team. We are a team of individuals with different skill sets, but one mindset. Also, we have an added advantage of diversity since we hail from 3 different continents. We have Kate, who is our networking expert, who is in charge of establishing business connections and partnerships. I am Brandon, and I'm responsible for the software and the back end of our services. We have Wilson, who's our jack of all trades, because he's literally done everything in almost every single field. He's done the back end, he's in charge of research and development, and he's also doing user experience. And then we have Andre, who's responsible for the design of our beautiful design.
The future looks promising for Rome. In the short term, 1 month after launch, we hope to have successfully closed partnerships that will help us with the initial developmental stages of our company. By month 2, we hope to have closed deals with our manufacturers and begin production of our first wristband. By month 4, we hope to have already closed deals with our sales channels that will begin taking in pre-orders. And by the 6th month, we're going to officially launch wearables. In the long term, the first year is going to be a year of expansion. We're going to broaden our reach in our market. By the second year, we're going to start a new product line to reach more people with our new designs. And by the third year, we're going to enter our segmented adjacent markets.
Thank you everyone for your time. You can visit us at wearably.com and follow us on social media. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're TripHive, a crowdsourced itinerary for travelers.
To travel is to live. There is nothing more thrilling than getting into a new destination. That's why we wait all year for just our 3 weeks vacation. That's why you shouldn't spend your precious time on finding places by scrolling through travel websites, and when you find where you go as a restaurant and activities, we don't want you to get into a tourist trap. That's why we don't want you to spend your money to expensive tour guides or hire a travel agent. We want you to invest in finding new cultures and discovery. This is Midori. She is 22 and she has just graduated from University of Michigan. Right now, she is a designer in a startup based Los Angeles. Through her college experience, she invested her time in experiencing new cultures. She has been in 15 different countries in past 4 years. She visited places with people who were knowledgeable about the place until her recent solo trip to Italy. In Italy, she struck the standard pose in Pisa and ate a greasy margarita in a touristy restaurant and added another coin to Trevi Fountain. At the end, she was unfulfilled. Her experience was just one of other millions of tourists. That's why she wanted to experience more.
Inspired by Midori, we created TripHive. Instead of limiting yourself to the pool of knowledge of your friends and family, TripHive enables Midori to crowdsource knowledge and learn from other travelers who've been in the area or other locals who might live there. She can go on our app and scroll through itineraries based on her location and interests and select one that appeals to her. She can go and embark on a great experience, and if she likes it, she can leave a nice review, like it, and if she had one of her own unique experiences, she can go and write an itinerary of her own. We've already gotten a lot of traction. In 3 days, we got 202 itineraries and 1.1K views on our promo video. And we have actually 5 partnerships with travel bloggers. We have one food blogger from the US, a travel blogger from Boston, another travel blogger from Turkey, another travel blogger from Canada, one from Colombia, and of course, one from Turkey.
And this is Ted Shaw, and he is an art enthusiast. And so he took one of our itineraries, and he went all over Boston to explore art museums in a very cultural way. And he really took advantage of the features TripHive has to find those places that aren't maybe the most popular areas, but that are specifically suited to his interests in the travel area. And TripHive allowed him to become more immersed in the artistic scene of Boston. So there is a significant market opportunity for our company. First of all, the US travel market is $341 billion, and 60% of that is all airfare and lodging. And within that market is the miscellaneous travel market, which is $7 billion. And in the miscellaneous travel market is the millennial travel market, which is $1.3 billion. And within that is cultural-centric travelers, which is $250 million. And so we plan to capture 3% of that, or $8 million in 10 years. It's pretty much.
We've learned that customers care about 2 things, how convenient it is and the quality of their experience. We've also learned that quality is synonymous with how cultural or authentic the experiences are. So for us, convenience means how easy it is to input and interact with itineraries. Thus, the Quora itinerary traveling forms, Lonely Planet, and a blogish site called Tripoto are less convenient, while TripAdvisor and Yelp actually are pretty convenient. Then on to touristic versus insider. We've noticed that many people find Yelp and TripAdvisor pretty touristic, but some of the more blog-oriented platforms are actually offer more authentic experiences. TripHive hopes to combine convenience with quality of experience and dominate the market. As for our financials, we need to acquire a reliable customer base in order to make money off affiliate links. We're currently a Booking.com affiliate, and hopefully by building a user base, we can receive 50% commission. Also, we're thinking about a freemium version where users get the product for free, but then they unlock specific itineraries. And lastly, for our future plans, and within the next month, we hope to launch our platform. And then by the end of this year, we hope to have 1,500 users with 10,000 itineraries. We've noticed that our early adopters tend to post several itineraries. So we're hoping that by gathering a small, reliable user base, we can get a critical mass of content. Now for the team, I'm Charlie Donnelly and I handle operations.
I'm Gökçe and I handle marketing.
I'm Eileen and I handle tech.
I'm Riley and I do design.
Thanks everyone. To experience more, join the Hive.
Okay, good evening everyone. We are Advisor, and our mission is to connect high school students to suitable and experienced professionals or university students in order to empower them with useful information and help them make decisions when it comes to picking a college course or a career.
So this is Jane, and she's a senior high school student, and she has to choose a college and a major, but she went to the student counselor in her school, and student counselor said that she don't have enough time to give personal advice for her. So she spent hours in the different web pages to find information, and she found a paid counselor, but she realized that the price of a paid counselor is very high and she can't afford it. So there are some other data. Students in high schools usually goes into college without a clear decision. A yearly cost of a college is $50,000 per year, and 75% of students have changed their major. It means that they waste money.
So we realized that there's a need from high school students to find someone that first of all understands them, someone that can give them the right advice and help them choose the right college majors and career paths, and then thirdly, someone that can answer specific questions. So our idea is to create a network of individuals from all different life stages of the professional and the educational ecosystem, and find the most suitable pairs of advisors and advisees, and provide a platform in which they can interact in a more structured and substantial manner. So our solution is to create an open international advisor network, a huge community of experts and operation teams. So we're going to achieve high compatibility between the advisors and the advisees by using the information they provide in their profiles, such as likes, talents, subjects that they're interested in, courses that they've taken. And we're going to find the most suitable, and by using algorithms and rules, we're going to find similar profiles and match the advisors with the right advisors. And we're going to provide interaction services, such as collective group discussions and live meetings. We're also going to have life stories of individuals narrating the path of someone from high school to university to a first job, showing what they liked and didn't like in that time of their lives, and also showcasing the final outcomes.
So some words are competitive advantage. There aren't platforms which can have students in that way. We try to have high school students. Users can find
students, and also users can rate the advisors, which is beneficial function for the users, for the advisors, and for us too.
So how feasible is our idea? So from our PMR findings, we are able to deduce that 2/3 of our mentors who are more than willing to be connected to students who are interested in their career fields. So for our alpha test, we were able to connect 8 advisors to 8 advisees. And one of the notable stories was that of Cassie and Panos, whom we connected on our platform. And so Panos is a student from Greece who is really interested in engineering and wants to study in the US. And Cassie is a university student at the Columbia University who has done architecture and engineering. And so she's also from Greece, and therefore they were the perfect fit for each other. So we were able to connect them on our platform, and this is what Panos had to say. And the conversation with Cassie was very useful. We got a lot of insight about a similar program in a top US university. We had a chance to compare courses, level of difficulty, lab experience, and campus life. And he recommended this for other people like him.
And so how we're going to make money? We're going to slowly increase our sales channels as we go. So in the beginning, we will make money off of ad revenue. And after we finish our first phase and finish improving our product, we will go into getting a cut of long-term consulting. And for example, if advisee would like an advisor as their counselor, they would request them and pay money to the counselor, and we would take a cut. We would also have smaller advisor communities where, for example, a school would pay us for our entire service, for their entire student and alumni body. And we will also have a subscription option for individuals in a global network. And so this will be our 3 phases. So for the first 6 months, we will have inner improvement to improve our platform so that it can be used for our second phase, where we open out to smaller communities. We have been working with the National Girls Initiative, as well as many colleges who have demonstrated interest in trying to be a part of our community. And after that year, we will open it to a global network of the 200 million college students in the world.
So we're going to show you how our website is at the moment. So you get the login page, you put in your credentials, you log in into your profile, where you get some basic information. If you scroll down, you can see information such as where the user has studied, some work experience, collective group discussions that the user has been part of. If you click to one discussion, you can see here, you can see the topic, you can write your own answer, and to see how a live meeting would be, you see we have a video sharing screen, chat, and also from the profile, in the beginning you can go to and see suggested users that can be your advisors or see all the users of the platform.
So finally, meet the Akavisa team, the masterminds behind this great idea, brought from 3 different continents, but bonded by the same interest and vision of improving the quality of education and career services across the world. I'm Daniel Deng from South Sudan, and I'll be in charge of logistics and human resources.
I'm Shinur Lee from Chicago. I'm in charge of operation and marketing.
I'm Sadiris from Greece, and I do the web developing, and I also deal with finance.
And I'm Zsófia from Hungary, and my task is design and marketing.
Thank you.
We seek to revolutionize the way people with dietary restrictions or food allergies eat out.
So during our PMRs, I talked to this woman named Lauren, and she told me that whenever she went out with friends for a girls' night out or just dinner, there would be times she'd skip a meal because she didn't want to be that one person who'd hold up the whole group by asking 50 questions about one dish because of her dietary restriction.
Oh, for our market opportunity, we split it into 2 groups, users and restaurants. For our users, our broad market was those with allergies and dietary restrictions, which equated to roughly $788 million. But we wanted to hone in on college students because that was what we felt we could target best, and that equates to roughly $50 million. And then for restaurants, we looked at all restaurants who had allergy-free options, and that was a $146.5 million market. Then focusing in on independent restaurants, which are not chains such as Saladworks or large juice bar brands. And we want to be ambitious, but at the same time realistic, so we're looking to target approximately 5% of the market and obtain $6.5 million in revenue in our market.
All right, so how do we hit that 5%? Well, let's talk about our value proposition. We have 3 key aspects that differentiates us from other people. The first is personalization. We customize all of the dishes and restaurants around your local community towards your allergies or dietary restrictions. We also crowdsource our menus, so people who face the same problem as you can put up reviews, pictures, as well as descriptions of their favorite dishes and restaurants. And finally, we just foster this great community atmosphere by connecting different people with the same problem on the web app. And so we tested our value proposition through our MVP, which was essentially broken down into 2 different types of students. The first is a crowdsourcer, who would put up their recommendations of restaurants and dishes. The second is the typical Lauren, who would use these recommendations to find restaurants around her.
So our proposed final solution is an online crowdsourcing menu web app.
So our web app is very personalized, so the user would create their own profile, and it'll show which allergies they have. And like after a long day, let's say Lauren wanted to go out to eat because she's too lazy to make her meal, she'd go to our homepage and she'll scroll down and look at all the different restaurants we have on our website. And each restaurant will say how many dishes she'd be able to eat. She can look at pictures about the restaurant and look at the menu. In the menu, it will show dishes that she can eat with the green line underneath, and she can click on it if she wants to know more information about that specific dish, like the ingredients or the number of dietary restrictions it accommodates.
So based on our value proposition, we thought the 2 main features that we specialize in would be personalization and how we offer a full menu. So we're up in the top, and our competition has been split up into 2 different types. Those that pertain to dietary restrictions and food allergies, and those that are purely restaurant or food reviewing sites. So as you can see, Find Me Gluten Free and Allergy Eats are 2 allergy and food restriction related topics, but they don't offer what we offer. They don't offer both of the features we offer. And then in the bottom, we have Yelp and Google. And they show they show a very basic menu. And they also are not personalized to your allergies or dietary restrictions.
So we proved our competitive advantage through our MVP and got a lot of traction. We got in touch with 7 partners, including Sweet Bakery, which is a really popular bakery here in Boston, the Cheesecake Factory, which is the Cheesecake Factory, and also a nationally recognized celiac organization. We also crowdsourced 30 menus that are now available to browse and use, and we also got 100 subscribers that are ready to download our app after it's developed.
Using these traction metrics, we created a financial projection for the next 5 years. We're looking at a subscriber model where every year a user paid $25, or they could go for a monthly or semi-annual plan at a slightly higher rate. In the first year, we're anticipating 1,000 paying subscribers paying for the full year. This doesn't factor in monthly and semi-annual users, which is a slight flaw, but we can get around that. And then with constant growth, hard work, and passion, in year 5, we're looking at 50,000 subscribers paying for a $25 yearly plan, where we take in just over $1 million per year.
So in order to achieve the financial that Carson has mentioned, we have developed a 3-year plan. So in our first year, we hope to expand to 1,000 users across 4 different cities. In our second year, we hope to have at least 5,000 users across 10 different cities. And finally, in our third year, we hope to have 10,000 users across 25 different cities.
All right, so let's talk about our team. We're 4 different people, united behind the goal to help people with dietary restrictions.
So my name is Karen, and this is Nandini, and together we collaboratively work to develop the logo, the web app, and also working on social outreach.
I'm Carson, and over there's Ariana. Together we work on financials, marketing, and customer relations.
By the way, I'm the only vegetarian in this whole group. And again, your choice to eat. And remember, the choices are endless. Thank you.
Note to students, when you're up here, I know people in the room may be able to hear you when you have it like this, but it is a huge difference for everybody who's watching, so if you could please use the microphone so that folks that are watching virtually will be able to hear.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're Perez, the social wishlist platform. So I'd like you all to meet Michael and Emily. Every year they spend hundreds of dollars purchasing gifts for each other, their friends, and their family. But they often run into the same three common problems. One, as a receiver, Michael feels uncomfortable telling Emily what she wants. Two, as a giver, Emily can't find items within her price range and budget to give to Michael. And three, Michael and Emily both agree that the process of gift giving is too time-consuming. What we offer as a solution is Perez. Perez creates an interconnected community between friends, families, and others. This allows you to view their wish list as well as add to your own. Now you be mindful of what they want for their upcoming events to make sure they're happy when you give them their gift. Perez is a free-to-use and accessible to all platform, and also allows you to maintain your privacy by making your wish list public or private. And finally, Perez will allow you to crowdfund for gifts for your friends, meaning that you're able to pitch in small funds to buy more meaningful and expensive gifts for your special somebody.
Since launching our social media platforms just under a week ago, we've received a lot of positive feedback as well as engagement across all pages. For example, our Facebook page has reached almost 150 likes, meaning that people who've liked this page will regularly receive updates as we continue to update our own page. Additionally, we've tested our MVP on 25 people and have manually contacted them, asking them for their wish list and sending those wish lists over to their friends and family. After conducting a post-MVP survey, we realized that an app is a viable solution and that we should use this to most conveniently connect people's wish lists, but still have a lot of MVP testing to go before we can pursue this avenue. Here's our promo video that was a success as we reached almost 3,000 unique accounts. Potential market opportunity we have. In the U.S., people ranging from ages 12 to 30 on average spend $19 billion a year on gifts. However, we hope to target a specific segment, which is high schoolers, because they're most prone to use our sort of platform and join an app early on. And this includes a market from ages 14 to 18 who generally spend $25 million on gifts a year, collectively.
There are two main ways that we differentiate ourselves from our competition. The first is wishlist availability. With Perez, you are able to easily follow other users, so at any time you can see their wish list, in contrast with competing services where you need to either be sent or ask for someone's wish list every time you'd like to see it. We also have budgeting features so that we can help users make smart purchasing decisions. Because we have both of these features, we think that we are definitely the best product on the market.
Hi, I'm Adit. I'm the marketer and operations manager of the team.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm in charge of design and finance.
I'm Paris, and I'm in charge of finances.
I'm Spencer, and I'm the developer. So each of us bring a very unique set of skills to the table, and we think all of our skill sets complement each other and make us a very strong team that will definitely be able to implement our solution. Our revenue model is that of affiliate marketing. In the Perez app, whenever someone posts a wish on their wish list, it will have an Amazon link that whenever a user follows that link and then subsequently makes a purchase on the Amazon website, we will receive a commission from that purchase at no extra cost to the user.
So the average American adult spends $600 a year on gifts. With a 4% commission and expected 10,000 users by the end of the first year, we expect to make $66,000 in revenue by the end of the first year. Because it is so important to our business to have a large user base, we will be investing the majority of our money back into the business and customer acquisition cost. Therefore, by the end of the fifth year, we can reach $4.5 million in revenue and have a 35% margin rate. As our user base grows, our customer acquisition costs will also decrease.
As for our future plans, we plan to focus on furthering our traction. We are going to accomplish this by implementing our 3 customer acquisition strategies. The first being social media campaign. Secondly, using influencer marketing, which will then lead to word-of-mouth marketing. We believe that as a service, we must overcome the chicken and egg hurdle as soon as we can to make sure that we grow as a company. Secondly, we are going to implement sponsorships, meaning that companies will be able to promote their apps and products on our service and our platform's home feed. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are Halisa, a platform that allows you to easily aggregate, view, and transfer your medical records. Halisa puts your health in your hands, allowing for your records to be your way.
Several years ago, I experienced about a year and a half of complicated medical issues. I went with my family to different hospitals and doctors all across the country, but was constantly frustrated by this process. Each of the organizations that we went to functioned on separate electronic medical record systems, making it impossible for me to send my medical records. Due to this, I had to carry hundreds of pieces of paper, dozens of files, and multiple CDs in order to share my history with my doctors.
Many students, especially college students, face the same problem that Adam faces. It is extremely difficult to both access and transfer your medical records quickly and conveniently. Right now, in order to determine the magnitude of this issue, we want to focus on a segment of the 676,000 students who visit the hospital frequently every year at small colleges. From there, we can expand to a broader market who faces this issue, the 4.6 million college students who visit the hospital at least once a year, and the 17.5 million total students who attend American colleges and universities.
Halisa has created both a mobile application and web platform to facilitate the seamless transfer of medical records. Both doctors and patients are able to upload their medical files. Sorry. Excuse me. Are able to upload their medical files and then transfer them with our mobile application.
So there you can see the online dashboard where doctors and patients can access the dashboard. So patients can choose which records they want to send to their doctors through the mobile application, and doctors can scan the patient's mobile application to receive records of the patient's choosing. So the core mission of Halisa is to improve the overall quality of healthcare in the United States. One of the main unique values Halisa brings to the table is that we allow patients to control who access their health data and which data is shared to different people. Another benefit of Halisa is that medication, lab results, and allergies are accessible and portable to caregivers. Lastly, Halisa allows an increased speed of the healthcare provided by decreasing repeat testing. So we gained considerable traction over the past 3 weeks by having people test our app and contacting various organizations. Through the 15 people who tested our app, 10 of them were willing to use the app and found value in our product. We also contacted the CMO of Myriad Genetics and the Clinical Systems Coordinator at MIT Medical, and both of them not only provided us valuable advice, but they also saw a great potential and market for our product. In the future, they are willing to provide help and advice to us in scaling our business.
Two key metrics makes Halisa so unique in the market. One being the portability of medical records, and two being the number of services we offer. Apps like MedFusion allow you to view your medical records. However, MedFusion works with only 1 out of 650 different electronic medical record systems, not to mention that the records are non-transferable. Moving on to 2 bigger competitors, Dr. Chrono and NextGen Patient Portal, they allow you to do more, as you can view recent test results, view your records, and contact doctors. Yet, like MedFusion, the records are non-transferable, and for the apps to even work, they must be compatible with your doctor's electronic medical record system.
Lisa plans to sell its services to small colleges on an annual flat fee based on the organization's size. This block system allows organizations to select the size that works for them and increase and decrease users as needed.
So this is our financial projections for the next 5 years. In year 1, we hope to have around 1,500 users, and in year 5, we hope to have around 130,000 users. And we hope to charge around 40 cents for the cost of goods because we need to keep our servers up. And by the 5th year, we want to have just over $1 million in revenue. And this is Team Halisa. We're a group of 3 young entrepreneurs who have different skill sets and one goal to solve this issue. Hi, my name is Rohan. I'm in charge of marketing and finances, and I'm from California. That's Jenny. She's in charge of operations and management, and she's from New Jersey. And this is Adam, who's in charge of app and web development from Florida.
In the near future, Halisa has 3 main goals for growth. First, we plan on getting further traction by contacting small organizations and universities. Through this, we will acquire beta users who will test and give us feedback on our product, which will allow us to improve and iterate our app. Next, we will use this data we get from traction to convince insurance companies to partner with us. And through this, we will mandate usage of our product to people who purchase their insurance. Lastly, Halisa wants to continue growing with partners and support network for further feedback and advice as we continue to scale in the future.
Thank you all so much for listening, and please remember, Halisa makes your records your way. Please feel free to reach out to us on the following platforms.
Good afternoon. How's the day so far? Good? Yeah. Alright, so we're Lendridge. We're Lendridge. Lendridge is a trusted community platform for peers to list, rent, and ultimately share items. Lendridge can be the solution to your next day-to-day problem.
So last month, Ricardo visited Cape Cod, and he arrived and he realized that about three quarters were bike trails. He obviously wasn't going to buy a bike for usage of 2 weeks, so he decided to go to the bike rental store. Since they had a monopoly, the prices were skyrocket expensive. If only he had known that Simon, who lived down the street, had bikes in his garage that he barely touched, that he would have been more than willing to rent out to Ricardo for a much cheaper price. And it's not just bikes. Surfboards, snowboards, canoes, kayaks, ladders, drones, we all have things that we need for a short period of time. And we all have things that take up our space. Lendridge capitalizes on this opportunity.
We believe we're stepping into a huge market with our peer-to-peer rental marketplace. And we have numbers from the actual rental marketplace right now to prove so. We are currently focusing on outdoor items and activities, but we also see a huge potential market with household appliances and electronics as well. Imagine being able to rent a lawnmower or a snowblower, or even a professional camera from somebody down the street. And as you can see, the US total equipment rental market is just sized at under $50 billion.
So we provide travelers and communities an instant, affordable, and local solution to list, rent, and ultimately share items.
The 2 main factors that differentiate Lendridge, us, from our competition is that we are extremely affordable and easy to use. Unlike these online platforms, such as Coop, Stokeshare, and Spinnister, we were developing a mobile app that makes everyone accessible to Lendridge. Unlike local traditional rental shops, we make the price cheap, so people are actually willing to rent instead of buying.
So to see whether or not there was a market, we decided to test out our idea at MIT Launch, and we just created a simple Google form, and that sent where you typed in anything you had that you were willing to rent out, and that got put on a spreadsheet, and if anyone saw anything that they wanted to rent from you, they would just contact you via the spreadsheet. Even in a place where everyone supposedly packed everything they needed, we still managed to have $170 in cash flow, which we had 11 transactions and took a 5 or 10% commission off of that to get profit. It shows that there was indeed a potential market in the household appliance and electronic industries, and even though our MVP was very short, about 4 days, we still had traction.
So besides the launch MVP, we actually launched a web app to test this idea on a larger scale. This is a demo of how our web app interacts with users and providers.
So I'm going to Provincetown for the weekend and I really want to rent a bike. However, I've seen one on the inventory. So I go to the request an item, type bike, choose the location and the price, and then press submit.
I went on the wish list. Oh, someone wanted a bike in Provincetown. I had that, so I just posted bike information and typing in all the information required, including the name of it, the type, how much I buy it for, and then put a nice picture about it, the conditions. They'll give me suggested pricing based on all the data I inputted, and I set the price at $15 a day for this nice road bike.
So now that I see that somebody has fulfilled my request, I can check the specs, how much it costs, and set my pickup and drop-off dates. After that, I can choose the pickup time and confirm my request.
Now I get a text notification that Ricardo wants my bike, so I met him up, give him the bike. We check it's in good condition, we start timing, and then after he used it, he used for 1 day, he returned to me. He didn't break it, so transaction is automatically completed, and we can rate each other.
Thanks to Lenderidge, Simon made money by doing virtually nothing, and Ricardo saved a huge amount of money by going through our platform.
So now you've met our product, let me tell you more about our routine. So we're 4 high schoolers really passionate about this idea. Lofa is our business development, Ricardo is our designer, I'm the hacker and developer, and Ananya is the marketing and salesperson.
We know that acquiring users is vital into getting our business rolling and have chosen a variety of methods to do so, especially social media advertising as well as Google AdSense. Not only that, but we're also going to be using articles, flyers, word of mouth, and search engine optimization. For the provider side, not only are we seeking to target everyday people, but we're also planning to acquire local rental businesses so that we can get more inventory and tackle the two-sided market chicken and egg problem. We will do so by emails and cold calling.
So in the short 4 days that we've launched our actual web app, we've had 810 social media impressions, 825 website views, 44 registered users, and we currently have 7 items listed, but thanks to the 2 businesses we're partnering with, we will have 60 items listed by the end of this week, hopefully in the next couple of days. The businesses we're partnering with will help us get inventory onto our platform. So one example is in Cape Cod, we're partnering with a bike rental shop who will put all of his bikes on our platform so that people can see it and help us with inventory. Another is an equipment rental shop in Toronto that rents a huge variety of different things.
So in 6 years, we plan to acquire 200,000 customers. And from that, we estimated how much we're going to make. Say a customer makes 3 transactions per year, and then we take 5 to 10% cut from that, we're going to make $1.6 million in revenue by the end of 6 years.
Right now, we're trying to partner with insurance companies to protect ourselves as well as our lenders to ensure higher security for their items, and we plan to have a partnership by the end of the month. We're also allotting the next 3 months for heavy advertising to get the word out about our business, and by 4 months, we're seeking to release our iOS and Android application to make the platform a lot more accessible. 5 months from now, we're seeking to partner with at least 10 rental companies, and more in the future, we're expanding to more and more cities rather than just local.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, we're going to take a short break here at the halfway point, stretch your legs a little bit, rest or whatever else. We'll start back up in 10 minutes. So 3, 2, 1, starting back up. And for folks live streaming, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Sorry.
I think we did well. Give it like a 7 out of 10.
See the source in the back?
Do you have a tripod or something? The tripod is being used to record the camera. Oh. And also the tripod only works with like cameras and not iPads.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if there's a way to prop this up, because I think that looks good from here.
Yeah.
And I think it's enough. I think the volume here is enough. Yeah, like I felt like I heard that.
Okay. Maybe this is better then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw your message during it, but I couldn't stop shaking. Like my blood was draining out of my hands. So I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
Okay, good. This will work well.
Yeah, because then there were also the 2 people that were in front of me kept moving, and their heads would be weirdly. Yeah. And then there's a guy next to me who's breathing through his mouth, and I was like.
Well, and hopefully with me telling them to make sure that they can leave that because here should be good too. Yeah. Like I felt like I heard everything sitting here. It was just one of the kids I noticed
He was using it as a prop, but it was just he was pointing at it. And I was like, no, that's not what that's for.
Yeah, I'm impressed you held it up so much for me.
I was kind of more elbow kind of here and hold my arm. I don't know, it was complicated.
It's standing in the throne, the best view. I'm king. I'm just. You're the king. You can be in the crown. Shut up. I like it. This is
Hello, we're Foundry, an idea network that seeks to bridge the gap between ideas and reality by gathering skilled, ambitious individuals around world-changing ideas. We're a group of 4 young entrepreneurs who all know the struggle of having an idea fall through because we couldn't find the well-rounded team to help bring it to life. And now Alex is going to share a story that I think most of you will be able to relate to.
So the year's 2013. My friend Kevin and I had a great idea for a microblogging service, but we didn't have the necessary people to round out our skills. We were both technical. So the first thing we did was decide to build our product, and that was a mistake. We had no idea if people even wanted it. And because of that, it was a huge failure. We needed a way to get interested individuals around our idea to round out our team. This is the problem that Foundry solves, and Aki is going to tell you why we are a well-rounded team that solves this problem.
So who is the team behind Foundry? Perez is in charge of marketing and public relations, Hunter is in charge of front-end development and our designer, Alex is our back-end developer and our webmaster, and I am the business-to-business and finance person.
So before we started anything, we wanted to make sure that this was a problem that extended beyond just the 4 of us. So between our primary market research and research we did online, we found the following. 90% of students are interested in being entrepreneurs, but 75% don't know where to start. And there are currently over 50,000 young entrepreneurs who are using forum-based alternatives to try and do what Foundry does. When you look at where we fall in the competitive playing field, there are 2 main axes. One is the stage of development of a company, and one is user accessibility. And when we were making Foundry, we wanted to make something that was for really early stage companies. So the companies that were nothing more than an idea and a visionary behind it, and we wanted to make sure it was accessible to everyone, regardless of their access to funding or their experience in the entrepreneurial field. So this is how we do it, and this is how we bring value to the marketplace. So for young entrepreneurs who have a difficult time getting their companies past the ideation phase, Foundry presents them with an idea network where they can find a well-rounded team to propel their idea into reality.
So here's how it works. Users propose their ideas to the Foundry community in the form of what if. That way, they give away just enough detail to spark the imaginations of fellow visionaries, without giving away the idea outright. Then, they input the needed skills and interests that relate to this topic, and so that we can show it only to people who it's most relevant for. For example, here I see ideas that need my specific skills and that are actually related to the topics I'm interested in. So as I'm scrolling through them, as soon as I find one I'm interested in, for example, what if we had smart mailboxes to make communicating easier? All I have to do is click on it, and I'm met with a slightly more detailed description, the existing team, what they're still looking for, and if I'm interested, all I have to do is click Let's Talk to start a conversation with the existing team. Now, one thing I really have to emphasize here is that all these ideas that are on here right now are real ideas loaded into the platform from real people already being used to create teams. And that brings us to user base.
So you've seen what it looks like and you've seen how it works, but does it grow? And the answer is yes. Foundry was composed of two main minimum viable product stages. The first stage is where we created teams based on surveys that we received from people that we targeted on Reddit, Facebook, and Twitter. We asked them for ideas, passions, and skills, and then we linked up those people with complementary passions and skills around ideas that they thought they would like. We got over 100 users in the first 24 hours of our first MVP. We created around 15 teams, and once we had that proof of viability, we went on to create MVP2, which is what you just saw, the fully functioning website that automates the entire process. In the first 7 days following MVP1, these were our real growth statistics. We had 202 users, we created 23 teams, and 42 ideas were submitted. And this was a quote from someone who actually was linked to a startup that they continued past the MVP1 stage, which we thought was really great. Proud to have been a part of the Foundry Alpha. I've already been linked to a great startup thanks to Foundry. So this is how we're acquiring customers currently. We're taking kind of a four-pronged approach. The first is grassroots marketing, which is our kind of code for sending targeted advertisements and articles ourselves to communities on Reddit, Facebook, and Twitter. Social media ad campaigns, word of mouth, and search engine optimization. And to show that there's an actual need out there, this is just one of many quotes that we received through emails and through surveys that we thought was great. This is a platform I've been looking for ages. Connecting office guys with craftsmen, awesome idea. I instantly joined.
So having users is great, but at some point we actually have to make money. And for that, we've gone with affiliate marketing. And the reason for this is because all three people involved win. For users, as they're scrolling through their feeds, they're met with a number of inline advertisements that are relevant to the stage they're currently at in their company. For example, if they're about to start their store, they'll see Shopify ads. A designer will see things like Sketch that are actually for designers. That's the value for the advertiser, is all of these are incredibly targeted. Meanwhile, for the end user, everything is discounted. You can see here, for instance, in our live chat ad, users get a $10 credit and a 60-day free trial they wouldn't otherwise get had they just gone directly to the site. And for us, it gets us revenue for every referral. A minimum of $60 on platforms like LiveChat and VenusTheme, and Shopify ranges from $600 to $2,000 for a single referral. We have a number of other affiliates already signed up. And that brings us to future plans.
So today, we're launched with our boilerplate features such as Discover and Messages. We're targeting just our B2C market and our revenue model through affiliation. Now, just 1 year down the line, we're going to expand to B2B. Now, B2B is huge. Launch has already expressed interest in using our platform for doing the ideation at next year's launch. Also, we're going to expand to mobile. Now, we're already designing iOS and Android apps for this purpose. We're also going to introduce, along with our B2B marketing, B2B revenue model, where there'll be private cloud instances of our system for different companies, so that they can spark internal innovation at their industries. And another year down the line, we're going to expand internationally. Now, there's a huge entrepreneurship community outside in the world, and we want to tap into that. We're also going to introduce a feature called Learn. Learn is a knowledge base for early-stage companies and entrepreneurs that contains all the information they need to get started. We're also going to introduce a new revenue model. Now, this paid-to-promote model is already used by Instagram and Facebook, where users pay to have their posts moved up in other people's feeds. So you can reach us at wearefoundry.com or any of our other channels, and thanks so much for listening.
we are Botel, a real-time collaborative shopping list for college students within a community.
Meet Joy. She's your average college student. She's always busy and stressed about upcoming deadlines, and she just doesn't have the extra time or money to go out of her way to the grocery store to get 1 or 2 groceries, even though she so desperately needs them.
So today, there are currently 21 million college students in America, and every college student spends an average of 185% more on every meal than any other consumer. And because of that, there's a $600 billion industry in just groceries.
To solve the issue that Joy and many others have, we created a simple app demo that we can show you. Of course, we have our starting login screen, which is just very basic. However, once you get into the sign-up page, you'll notice something very important to our app, and that's the current location bar. And this is used for the next stage, where you need to find a community near you. You have the basic name of the community, as well as the people that are already in the community, as well as a request to join the list. And if you do request to join the list and the admin adds you, you can be added to that list. Of course, you can also create your own community and add members through the add button. Lastly, we have the basic list view, where you can view all of the other people's lists in your community, and you can click on each of these the other people's lists and go and buy the groceries for them, and then go to them at a drop-off point, and they could pay you for that. Lastly, we also have our basic add item to your list, which is in the upper right-hand corner.
Although Botel has many key features, we really strive to achieve 4 key things. Firstly, save you money. Second, save you time. Third, help save the environment. And fourth, nurture your community around you. We also did an MVP, various rounds of tests, that this is something that people wanted a solution for. And within this various rounds, we served over 30 unique customers with many repeat users, turned over $300 in revenue, and made a net profit of $30, which we reinvested back into the company.
So going over some customer acquisition. So we started posting flyers and posters about around both Cambridge and both MIT and Harvard. And in addition to that, we started social media campaigns to approach people around the world. In addition, we're in development of a promotional video, and we're going to start partnering with grocery stores to help promote our app.
Once we have those initial customers, we want to promote virality, and to do this, we're going to use free trials, referring a friend, word of mouth, and point scheme, as well as in-app redemption. So instead of having the money for the groceries paid directly to your credit card, you can have it paid in-app for a higher value.
Obviously, we are not the first to enter this market. But what sets Botel apart is that we are not a delivery service, but rather a quick, real-time list that makes the most out of your community. As you can see, we've labeled axes with speed and affordability, which we consider to be our customers' top priorities. Delivery services like Amazon Fresh and Fresh Direct tend to be less time efficient, while similar services like Peapod and Instacart can have large delivery fees and subscription costs. Also, some people may use handwritten lists or messaging apps to compile group lists. However, this is far less convenient than our live updating app.
So our revenue model consists of 2 branches, one for the deliverer and one for us. So for the deliverer, if that person is only delivering for 1 person, then that person has to pay $2 per deliver. If there's more than 1 person receiving the groceries, then each person has to pay $1 to deliver. And there's obviously an optional tip at the very end. And the way we make money is that we take a 15% cut out of the total order, and in addition to that, our API that we're using for splitting payments takes a small cut of our 15%.
Moving on to our financial projections, in the next 5 years, we hope to get about $1.5 million in revenue, having our net income be about $800,000 to $900,000, and most of the expenses that we have are for customer acquisition and service fees.
But why should you believe in the team behind Botel? Well, we all think that we're very well-rounded and complementary skilled individuals. My name is Joanna, I'm from England, and I work on operations, finance, and promotional material.
I'm Akil, I'm from the Bay Area, and I'm focusing on marketing and sales.
I'm Noah, I'm from Long Island, and I'm the main developer on our team.
I'm Lindsay from New Jersey, and I'm working on design, legal aspects, and outreach.
And with our amazing team, we hope to have a few future plans that we'd like to share with you. In the next 2 months alone, we hope to get our app out there, as it's currently in development. We have 400 plus. We want to have 400 plus responses on our newsletter. Our survey, and 100 plus signups on our newsletter. In the next 4 months, we hope to get our first 500 downloads to our app, as well as 200 plus signups on our newsletter. And in the next 6 months, we hope to get about 1,000 plus downloads on our app, as well as 300 signups on our newsletter. And in the next few years to come, we hope to expand even further beyond that.
Thank you so much for listening.
Hey everyone, our startup is Aware, and we are developing the ultimate smart sleep watch. We seek to revolutionize the way people stay awake, and at the same time, we want to optimize your sleeping schedule.
Alright, so very quick question. How many of you guys have ever fell asleep whilst you're trying to study, or whilst you're in class, in a lecture, anything, or you want to do something very important, like all of us, right? So when we first stumbled upon this problem, we actually had to validate our assumptions by doing extensive market research, and what we discovered is that a staggering 8 out of 10 students actually find this a problem. Now this is worrisome, and at Aware, we discovered this is an opportunity. So we went into the wearable tech sector and decided to look at the trends there, and it's phenomenal. 16.9% annual growth rate at a staggering $25 billion, but we want to focus on a niche market that is currently at $7.5 billion and really focus on the high school students and the college students that are currently plagued by this problem.
So our solution to this huge problem is Aware. It functions just like a regular watch would, but at the same time it'll track all your vital sleep information. More importantly, however, it'll actually wake you up when you doze off through a series of powerful, rapid vibrations. These vibrations, they can only be turned off with a shake of your arm. This ensures that the user will stay awake after they've been woken up. As you can also see, we have an app developed. It connects to our wearable device via Bluetooth, and it'll display all the data it receives, and at the same time provide some extra functionality, such as the option to have a power nap or manage your sleep schedule. So we are obviously not alone in this industry. Now I know what you're thinking, you're probably asking yourself, how do we differentiate ourselves from the rest of the wearables? Well, as you can see from this chart, Aware still outranks all its competitors in both effectiveness and affordability. We are the only wearable device that has an advanced sleep tracking system and a reliable, discrete, smart alarm system while still being affordable to the everyday consumer.
So in terms of our viability, we've already went ahead and developed a prototype with Arduino. Currently, it features a sensor that can detect your pulse, and it has a motor that can vibrate when your pulse drops, which indicates that you are falling asleep. In addition, we realized that our prototype wasn't that accurate, so we went ahead and developed an Apple Watch counterpart app, not counterpart, just an Apple Watch app, to prove the technical feasibility.
After working on improving our viability, we worked on generating traction for our business. And one main way we did this was through creating a website. On this website, we used Google Analytics to track user excitement. And we learned a lot of cool things. One of them being that we saw that over 20 people actually clicked the pre-order button. Now this tells us two things. One, that we were solving a real problem that a number of people faced. And two, that these people, our customers, were actually willing to pay us for our solution. So we know that we have the right team to make this business a reality because we are all passionately driven and have diverse skill sets. We come from all around the world and bring in different perspectives and skills. Hugo handles our operations and he lives in Boston. Victor came here all the way from Zimbabwe and he takes care of our finances. Rehan lives in California and takes care of software, and I myself live up north in Toronto, Canada, and take care of hardware.
So the lifeline of any business is money, and at Aware, we are very much aware of our financial numbers. So starting off with our unit cost, every device will go for $70, and that will be directly through our e-commerce site. Initially, our cost of production and logistics of actually shipping that to consumers is $55, but we hope that number to come down in the $50 to $30 owing to economies of scale. And we plan on launching this through Kickstarter and other channels aggressively so that we can penetrate the market efficiently. $70 is well within the minimum price range of most of these wearable devices.
In terms of future steps, we want to start out by starting a Kickstarter campaign to increase excitement and raise funding for a product. Next, we would like to sell our product through online and e-commerce and retail eventually. And then after that, we want to market our technology to drivers to prevent drowsy driving accidents. Finally, we want to partner with Uber and truck driving companies to mandate our technology for their drivers to keep them safer.
Follow us on social media, check out our website, and don't forget to be aware. Thank you.
Alright, hello everyone. We are BeFinder. Our mission is to help parents and programs discover each other and allow children the opportunity to have enriching experiences they'll never forget.
Yeah, so we seek to address the needs of a double-sided market with our users being the parents and our customers being the programs. So we created 2 customer personas that really embody the people that we interviewed. So this is Anne. She's 40 years old, has a 8-year-old daughter who's really passionate about music. So Anne wants to find a camp that's best suited for her for the summer. Except Anne doesn't have a lot of time. She's a working mom, so time to scour the internet for Google reviews and lots of information. She really values location, price, and her daughter's experience. So, not having a lot of time. Anne's also really worried that she'll miss the deadline for the camp, which is something that's happened to her in the past. This is an issue that even my own mom has faced. She's complained about it for the last couple of years, and a couple of weeks ago, she called me on the phone and asked for my help to find a camp for my brother. So I was like, being the good daughter that I am, I was like, okay, no worries. And I realized that this is actually a super inconvenient experience. It was super time consuming. I honestly couldn't really find a lot of options. So that's when I kind of realized that this was an actual need. And on the other side of the spectrum, we have Mr. D. He runs a really small music camp, a couple miles down the road from Anne. And so he has received amazing reviews from all of his parents and all of his previous attendees, but his one worry is kind of getting his marketing out there. He doesn't have the adequate resources to pay for traditional marketing methods like a lot of his competitors do. And he really wants to find a way to reach out to more prospective parents.
We know Mr. D has this need and is willing to throw money at it to solve it, right? So how big is the market? For all independent camps and programs in the Bay Area alone, it's worth about $300 million. As they expand up, for all independent camps in the country, that number goes up to about $5 billion. For camps and summer programs as a whole, the number is about $38 billion.
Our solution to both Anne and Mr. D's problems is a platform that connects parents to camps with 3 main features. First, filtering. Users can filter camps based on location, category, age, and more. Second, saving. Users can save camps they like to receive notifications on deadlines and updates. Third, reviewing. Users can review and read reviews of the camps. This is a video of our website.
Okay, how do we know this works? So right now we currently have 8 paying customers, which are small business partners that pay for a premium profile and alpha testing, which has generated us $80 in revenue. We also have 50 current parent users that we reached out through local networks. And we also have 2 school partners who really want to make sure that parents can reach out to a bunch of programs and also support these local programs.
Okay, so those numbers are all thanks to our team. Our team has a diverse, well-rounded skill set. I am Melissa. I am the designer. I make graphics.
Michelle and I develop apps and backends.
I'm Lexi. I'm in charge of customer outreach, finances, and marketing.
I'm Jijo, and I develop websites.
Our main paying customers will be camps. They
pay us a flat fee and we promote them on our platform. Additionally, we can sell data on users. For example, we can sell to a camp information on which users have saved their camp, so they can reach out to them and convert them to customers.
Okay, so our future plans, so one of our main priorities now is establishing more partnerships with organizations. We want to wait till we have a more established customer base, and then we can reach out to more prominent camps and organizations in order to kind of create our network.
Specifically, we're looking to expand geographically. We're going to reach out to other areas of the Bay Area, like the South Bay, the Palo Alto region, and also eventually the rest of California and the rest of the country.
We also want to improve our website and adding new filters for search, such as pricing and availability.
Ultimately, we seek to create a convenient and personalized experience for parents to ensure they can find the best possible activities for their children. We're BeeFinder, and thank you.
Hi, we're Rama. I'm Thomas. This is Kenny, Nate, and Anton.
Alright, so meet Josh Terrence. He's a freelance web developer and he makes websites for his clients. And his biggest waste of time is when he has to re-authenticate users after their account has been hacked. So you have to reset the password, and it's a big waste of time for him when he could have been doing more productive things. So a way to combat this is using two-factor authentication. And two-factor authentication is when you use a password as well as a SMS code that is texted to your phone to log into an account. But it's really inconvenient, and only 6.5% of people use two-factor authentication. Why? Well, you need another device to log into your account. And if you don't have data signal, or you don't have battery on your phone, or if your phone's just not in the room, it can be really inconvenient to log in.
So here's a demo of our website. As you can see, when you log in, you put your email, your password, and it takes a picture of your face to make sure it's you logging in. And you can see on the left and right that our authentication method is just as fast as just putting in your email and password, and it's much, much faster than putting in your password and a code. And the good news is this can go on any website, so any developer can easily add a few lines of code.
So what we're making is an API, which is basically a tool for developers to integrate this into their own website to allow for a more secure login that is just as convenient and get all their users to start using it.
So currently there are already some authentication services on the market for people to use, such as Duo, Google Authenticator, and Authy. Rama aims to fill the gap between these services and traditional one-factor authentication, where one-factor authentication is very secure, or is very unsecure, but not very, or very convenient, and whereas two-factor authentication is very secure, but very inconvenient.
Our target market is the 30 million companies in the US.
So we're selling Rama as a service. What that means is that developer can add a few lines of code to their website, and then we will process their logins for them. We'll charge them a fee for each authentication. And this leads to increased customer satisfaction because they get hacked less often. It also lowers the account management costs because when they get hacked, it takes time and money for websites to reset. It also lowers internet security insurance costs. Like websites will pay for insurance, so if they get hacked, they'll get money back to rebuild their website. But we can lower the cost by saying it's less dangerous.
So in the future, we want to add more features such as iris scanning, CAPTCHAs, and backup SMS codes if the face recognition doesn't work. We also want to add blinking, so you can't just hold up like a picture of someone and authenticate as them. As for scaling, we want to sort of increase our code's ability to handle thousands of users. And we would also like to, I guess, eventually start targeting larger companies with existing login systems so they can improve upon their, I guess, current platforms.
So for our customer acquisition and traction, we've already gotten a couple beta testers to test our API and give us feedback so we can improve on it. We're also going to be contacting YouTubers. We are already in contact with some to make sure that they're going to be having coverage on our API and to get the word out there. We're also going to be using social media marketing for targeted ads. And after that, just general market expansion and hopefully moving on to smaller companies and eventually larger corporations.
So for the first 3 years, we're going to be targeting independent web developers who are building websites for companies. And that is to build our brand, but as you can see, independent web developers aren't going to be making enormous amounts of websites. So in year 4 and 5, we're seeking to make deals with larger sites, such as e-commerce sites like Shopify or BigCommerce, such that we can have much larger growth, but we'll have a strong brand name at the time, so they'll trust us. And all of this will only be possible with our team. Kenny and Nate were working on the back-end programming. I helped with the front end and operations, and Anton worked on marketing and all the visual assets. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John George. This is Shubham, Neon, and Jackie. And I know we've been listening to a lot of presentations today, and so we're going to try and get this one done pronto. So this is Sarah. Sarah is a college student. Sarah has too much to do, and she has too little time to do it. She wakes up every day at 6 in the morning, she has her first class at 8 o'clock, and then she has classes until 3, and after that, she does a part-time job. Sarah doesn't have time to do things like do her laundry, clean her kitchen, and with homework and with all the things she's doing in school, she doesn't have time. Now on the other side of the spectrum, let's meet Chris. Chris has less to do and he has more time to do it. He doesn't take as many classes and he doesn't do a part-time job. But on the other hand, Chris needs money. Like a lot of college students, Chris is always looking for a way to make some extra cash.
So this is where we step in. Pronto seeks to make college students' lives easier by connecting students that need jobs done to people who will do them. And so the jobs that we're narrowing in on are tasks that all college students need to complete. They will all face this at a certain point in their careers. So they're jobs like doing their laundry, cleaning their room, taking out the trash, picking up groceries. So we're planning to do this using a mobile application that we're going to develop in both iOS and Android. So let's take a look at how it works. Going back to Sarah for a minute, she needs someone to help her do her laundry. She's going to set up a job, she's going to fill in all this information, she's going to post it. Then Chris, who wants to make some money, he's going to go onto the app and see all these red pinpoints, which are basically jobs being posted in real time. He'll click on one, see Sarah's posting, he'll do the job, and when he's done, he's going to receive a payment.
So initially, we want to target 6 colleges that are in close proximity to our team, totaling around 112,000 students for the first year. This is a smaller part of the 20.5 million college students across over 4,000 colleges in the United States alone.
So in order to test the viability of our application, we first simulated a job marketplace within the launch program. So what we did is we asked different people what jobs they had to do, and then we looked for people who would do these jobs for the given prices. So what we found was that we had over 18 unique users, with 8 users repeating and doing jobs or posting jobs, and 7 users planning to use the job again. On terms of revenue, we raised over $110 over 10 transactions, with over $17 in profit based off of a commission model, which takes 15% of all the jobs that are completed. So we chose this model because most of our competition relies on either subscription or a flat fee for basic job postings. By having a 15% commission model, we allow college students, our primary target market, to retain the most amount of money that they possibly can. So in terms of revenue, we plan to scale from over 30,000 transactions in our first year on the basis of $10 per transaction to over 500,000 in our 5th year, totaling over $3.1 million in revenue. So in order to accomplish this, we put together a very fulfilling team with skills who are complementary and well put together. So I'm Shubham, and I focus mainly on logistics and finance.
I'm Jacqueline, I'm from Brussels, and I focus on marketing and design.
My name is John George, I'm from New York, and I focus on promotion.
My name is Neon Kaparapu, I'm from Alexandria, Virginia, and I'm the developer for the team. So in the next 5 months, before we launch our app in December of 2017, we look to do 3 main things. First, obviously, we can't pull an app out of thin air, so app development is key. We are working on the Android development right now, and the iOS will be started eventually. Additionally, we look to do 2 more things. 1, we need to develop partnerships with colleges. Like we have stated, there are 6 colleges that we are targeting in the first year that are in close proximity, and we seek to go through more after that. Additionally, because college students are our primary market, We want to market directly to those college students using student ambassadors, and then finally launch our app.
We are pronto and we'll get the job done. Thank you.
Everyone doing well today? Yeah. Thanks there, Jose. I want to introduce everyone to Anne. Now, Anne is your typical parent of two high school students, Haley and Sloan. Now, every morning, Haley and Sloan wake up and the inevitable happens. They start to argue. Who will be first in the shower? How long will that last? How do you control that without more fighting breaking out? Well, currently, Anne has no solution. In fact, Anne hasn't set an alarm in over 2 years. Why? Because she is confident that every morning, that constant bickering from shower time and shower conversation will wake her up. Well, the problems cut far deeper than that. Haley and Sloan are constantly late to school every single day because they take too long to shower. And Anne's water bill has skyrocketed. Enter VodaFlow.
VodaFlow is a smart, universal showerhead attachment that allows people to save time, energy, and money in a fun way. VodaFlow utilizes Bluetooth technology to time showers, playing audio such as podcasts, language lessons, or music. We power this whole thing with a self-powered water wheel or hydroelectric generator. Inside the device itself, you can see a valve. So after your allotted time is up, the valve closes by 2/3, slowing the flow of water but still allowing you to rinse off. Finally, we install the product with the attachment and encase it in a sleek aluminum design, fitting in perfectly with your existing washroom fixtures.
Alright, so in order to actually interface with the device, we create a mobile app that allows users to control the device remotely from their phone or tablet. So basically from the app, users can start the shower and turn the valve on or off. Right? They can also set the time of the shower and also set the what music or playlist they want to play during the shower. Additionally, because we're tracking the shower time and the amount of time people spend taking showers, we want to track that as well. So we allow users to see their previous shower time so they can always stay on top of their water usage.
We will focus on 3 main market segments. First are the states shown in dark blue, with long coastlines and saltwater intrusion, which is when the seawater flows into the freshwater aquifers. By using VodaFlow, these people can avoid accidentally tapping into the saltwater source because they won't be using as much fresh water. Second are the states shown in turquoise, with large deserts and long droughts. Here, water conservation is a high priority, and that is where VodaFlow comes in. And finally, we will target the states with a high population. They present a real market opportunity, not only because there are more potential customers, but also because having enough water for everyone in the state is crucial. And in each segment, we will first target the customer, mainly parents like Anne, and then move on to businesses.
Alright, so when comparing ourselves to our competitors, we look at 2 major factors that consumers care about. First of all, entertainment, and second of all, functionality. And so all products like You Buy Moment at the top, only had a lot of functionality. They can control the temperature, they control the water flow, like our device. They didn't have the entertainment factor that we provided. Similarly, the devices like the standard 8 timer that people just put in the shower, as well as a shower manager, which has a similar functionality, didn't have the entertainment factor or the level of functionality that our device provided as well. So when it comes to these criteria, VodaFlow stands above competitors.
VodaFlow has 2 main revenue models. Our first one is B2B, where we will target gyms, dormitories, apartments, and other places with public showers, because these places can use VodaFlow to drastically cut down on their water costs. Our second model is B2C, where we will directly target customers through online platforms and retail stores. We plan to sell each product for around $70, with a cost of goods sold of $50 first year and then decreasing to $30 in year 5. Research and development, marketing, and general and administrative expenses will actually cause us to have a small loss of about $1,600 the first year. However, as we expand to new markets, we will gain much more revenue and cut down on our debts and other expenses, earning around $1.6 million net income by the end of year 5.
In terms of future plans, Vodaflow plans on launching on Kickstarter in the coming months. With enough funding, we can begin going to B2C markets. Through B2C markets, we can maintain a brand and build reputation. Once we build this reputation and have enough funding, we can target big players such as the hotels, gyms, and dormitories, as Nina was mentioning. These B2B companies will then allow us to receive more funding and hopefully target new markets around the globe, such as Scandinavia and Australia, where water prices can be extremely high. And of course, to maintain scalability, we need to expand our product line in the future.
Team Vodaflow is composed of 4 motivated high school entrepreneurs from all across the United States, unified by our passion and drive to eliminate shower head waste.
I'm Alina.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mateo.
I'm Andrew, and we are Vodaflow.
Welcome to Soul, Communication Fosters Community. We seek to create stress-free environments and foster open communication in educational settings, effectively building a community among students.
So through our primary market research of over 150 interviewees, we really determined one customer persona. So meet Emma. She's a student at Dartmouth. She's doing poorly in school, kind of doing poorly in her tests, and she just got into a fight with her best friend. She's really stressed, and she just wants someone to talk to. She goes to her mental health counselor at Dartmouth, but her mental health counselor isn't even available to meet, and frankly doesn't even understand her problems. She doesn't want to talk to her parents or her friends because she's scared that they'll judge her or they'll think that she's doing poorly in school. But she just really wants someone to talk to, and she's really stressed. In fact, in our primary market research, in one of our surveys, one student said, "I wish I had someone I feel like I can openly talk about my concerns without being judged, or anyone else being told. Oftentimes, I just feel like I can't really trust school counselors. Spilling out all my deepest concerns to them would likely result in them giving me some half-hearted generic response, and that would make me feel terrible." But what if there was a solution to this problem?
Through honing in on this problem and talking firsthand to isolated students like these, we discovered an incredible market of stressed students seeking support, as well as schools trying to remedy the pressure problem in high-intensity learning environments. Solo seeks to reach out to schools, our customers, who will then provide us to our users, the students. For our potential customer market, we have a total of 41,000 institutions from the sum of public secondary schools, private secondary schools, and colleges. And if we look on the other side of our users, our students, we have a total of 17 million potential users, based on the idea that nearly half, around 49% of high school and college students experience severe stress on a daily basis.
So what Soul is a peer-to-peer support network in which we connect students together to talk about their issues. So let's take a look at Soul in action. Emma's really stressed. She just really wants someone to talk to. And she goes onto Soul. First, she clicks the My Profile tab, and in which she can fill out her profile. You see here it's an invented name. As a result, it ensures anonymity, and it keeps everything objective, and the other user cannot have preconceived judgments. So she goes onto all the soulmates online. She clicks MIT. There's a list of soulmates who are online who are from MIT. She can scroll through and look at everyone's profile and choose someone she wants to talk to. So let's click on Miriam. You can see her profile, you can see her interests, her concerns, what causes her stress. She says, "Hey, I'm similar to Miriam, let's send her a message request." The beauty of the message request is that Miriam can choose to accept or decline it, and as a result, you have control over who you want to talk to. So she sends Miriam a message request. She goes onto her own messages, and she can see her conversation with Tom, in which she's helping Tom with his problems as well as talking to him for support. And she can look at the different people she's talked to in the past.
So we are currently running our minimum viable product testing, and basically we marketed a type form through posters, social media, and other channels. This type form, college students and high school students can fill out their major, interests, concerns, what school they go to, and basically we've had 4 different pilot iterations where we tested different ways to connect them. So we've had 216 unique visits to our type form and 42 users, which we are currently in the process of matching up. We are also in contact with 6 different schools to get their feedback on our product, as well as get a letter of intent for them to use it once we have developed our fully functional website.
From our interviews and surveys, we've really realized that students have a big problem dealing with stress, and the available outlets, hotlines, counselors, family, and friends don't solve their needs. Students told us that they need on-demand help. They don't want to be waiting, like Emma, for months to speak to their counselors. Students told us that they need a mutual support. And students told us that they need objective listeners. They don't want their families and friends who have preconceived judgments about them to tell them the same stuff all the time. And this service will be free for students. In fact, our users will be students, while our customers will be educational institutions, summer schools, high schools, and colleges. These institutions will pay us on average $3,000 every 2 years, and we plan to have 5 customers per month. Given that the average public high school in the US has on average $1 million budget pre-assigned for these purposes, for counseling and similar services, we believe that our estimates are very conservative. At the end of the year 5, with our current estimates, we will win $850,000 in revenue.
Soul came to life based on our team. From experiencing severe stress ourselves to watching close family and friends lack support in pursuing higher education, we are Soul, a group of ambitious individuals who have a vision for building open communities to bring this idea to life.
My name is Annie, and I'm in charge of marketing and outreach.
My name is Day, and I'm in charge of finance and web design.
My name is Grace, and I lead branding design.
And my name is Chandana, and I'm in charge of product and service management. So we have 3 main paths after launch where we plan to expand our business. First is to gain partnerships from student support organizations such as clubs in both high schools and colleges. Second, we plan to reach out to more schools to get them to be our customers. Third, we plan to turn our MVP into a fully functional website so that our users can access everything at once. And we're currently in the process of looking for developers and funding to make this happen.
Soul has a lot of exciting plans in store. Please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for your time.
Hi, we're Spare, and our mission is to truly optimize the use of storage space.
How many of you have ever experienced issues with storage? Well, we know how that feels. Last summer, when my friend Randy was moving out of his dorm, he wanted to store his $120 bike, but found out it was going to cost him upwards of $150 to do so. So he ended up just throwing it away. Currently, traditional storage units are pricey, inconveniently located, and far from optimized for the user. In fact, many people rent overly large compartments and end up wasting their money on unused space. At the same time, plenty of people have some extra space in their homes, whether it's their garages, attics, or closets. This is where Spare comes in.
Spare is a peer-to-peer self-storage platform. Our mission is to make storage affordable and accessible for everyone. Providers on our platform are able to make additional revenue with virtually no time commitment. Finding a space is also extremely easy. On our platform, a user only has to select their preferred size, location, and date range, and they're instantly matched up with a provider. Using our database, which is constantly updated with how much space each provider has remaining, we're able to partition the space in such a way to minimize costs for the users and maximize profit for the providers. This results in less wasted space, virtually no time commitment, and a straightforward way to make money.
We have created a fully functional web app, which is available to the public at spare.ly. Additionally, we are working closely with both our users and providers to learn from their feedbacks and iterate our process to create a better user experience.
We've marketed our service to networks all across Boston. We've handed out flyers and talked to people about their storage experiences. Through this, we've achieved over 100 leads on our mailing list, of which 20 have converted to being a user, signed up and created an account with us, and are excited to work with us in the future. We also have 2 transactions currently in progress, and we hope to learn from their experiences so as to better our offerings. We have many differentiating factors that set us apart from other players in the market. For one, we are a peer-to-peer service, so we offer greater accessibility and cheaper prices. Our storage spaces are constantly updated on our database, which allows us to truly optimize the storage experience for both ends of our market. Providers get a greater price per square foot of their space, and users are able to find cheap storage that's catered to their specific needs.
We have, like any other self-storage platforms, we have implemented a revolutionary smart match algorithm that can instantly match users with a space that is most suitable for him. This suggestion is made based on a variety of different factors, including the size, type, duration, and location of space, as well as the different features and security options that the user needs.
Our main customer segments are students and travelers in major United States cities, such as Boston, where we can garner a better customer user base by targeting cities like Boston, where colleges are very common. And our service available market refers to the students and travelers in the United States as a whole, and our total potential market is the self-storage industry, which is $4.15 billion annually. In order to create our pricing model, we performed several regressions on thousands of data points that we got from our competitors in the self-storage industry. We found out that the national average market price for per square foot of storage space is around 97 cents. However, we value our space providers' space at a much higher rate of $2 to $4. Therefore, they're incentivized to use our space instead of our competitors. On the other hand, our users still get cheap and affordable options because we optimize the money they spend on their spaces. We focus on the use case scenarios. For example, travelers would most likely use the small spaces, while college students would use the medium and large size plans. Therefore, they never have to pay for extra unused space. In the end, we create a win-win situation for both ends of our market. Providers get a better valuation, users never have to pay extra. Our costs mainly consist of customer acquisition fees, which are marketing and sales, and we'll also incur some legal fees along the way. Our revenue comes from 9% that we take from our users and 4% that we can take from the providers. We're going to assume that we start with $10,000 for seed funding from our friends and family round, and we're going to create a better marketing push for our beta release. Then, we're going to have a slow start, but we hope to create a high growth rate in the future.
Now you know all about Spare, but let me tell you a little more about us. We are a great team of diverse individuals with a variety of skill sets. I'm Lillian in marketing and design.
I'm Charlotte, I'm in charge of technology.
Hi, I'm Peter Ross, and I also work on product development and technology.
I'm Jay, and I do operations and finance.
All of us have also faced personal issues with storage in the past, whether it was with traveling or just storing seasonal objects at home. In fact, the story I told earlier on about Randy is 100% true, and had Spare been there for him, his poor bike might still be with us today.
Currently, we're talking to several people in the insurance industry to provide optional insurance and coverage for our users so that they can feel safe storing their belongings with us. We're talking to a sales rep from Liberty Mutual Insurance and the president of CareWaves Insurance. In addition, we're looking for funding for the future so that we can have a better marketing push and start a spark in the market.
At the moment, we're focused primarily in Boston, as it's such a great city with so much demand for storage. But in the future, we hope to expand all across America. And in fact, we've already reached out to people in the Yale University area and the Stanford University area.
We're also working to further develop our partitioning algorithm along with a mobile application, and we're working extremely closely with our alpha testers to improve the experience of both our users and our providers.
All of us are extremely excited about our future prospects, but for now, we'd like to thank you for your time, and we hope you remember, if there's room to spare, there's room to share.
Last one. Hello everybody, we are Avanti 3D. For the past 30 days, the four of us have been working exhaustively to develop a system that can solve a problem we have all encountered. That problem is the failures of 3D printers. Now, to introduce you more to this problem, we have a short clip that we'd like to show you.
New shapes are possible. The manufacturing industry is transformed. But what happens when things go wrong? We are plagued by printers that will release to the market prematurely, and subsequently, printer failures. Failures halt us makers in our tracks and leave us frustrated and productless. What if we could be notified, instantly, of a failed print? What if, instead of monitoring 3D prints ourselves, something could do it for us?
Solving the 3D printer unreliability issue. So from our extensive PMR of over 200 survey responses, we found that 23% of people's 3D printers fail often. And of those people, 61% of them check on their printers often, meaning they're effectively babysitting their 3D printers. 3D printers require a personal technician for them to even function. Why should we have that? So what we're developing is a simple smart monitoring solution where the user is taken out of the equation. They do not have to sit there to monitor their print. Rather, we have a smart system that allows us to monitor it for them. This consists of a smart camera module, shown there, connecting to an image processing hub. Now, one thing that's really important about our product, installation is very simple. It's a simple plug-and-play solution that mounts onto any printer's print bed, and we use image processing to record the user's prints, understand if there is a failure, and notify the user all in due time. Additionally, we have a feature offering time-lapse functionality, so not only can users pinpoint where their 3D prints mess up, they can also record time-lapses to share with friends, families, and manufacturers.
I'll shortly elaborate on our team. So the great background voice you've heard in the video is Nate Houston. He's responsible for marketing and promo materials. My name is Bo. I'm from Ukraine. I'm responsible for public relations and sales. Jasper is the guy behind hardware and design. And then lastly, Adam Potter is responsible for all of our software. So he single-handedly wrote all of the computer vision algorithm, which is extremely cool. And then I'll talk a little bit more about traction and exciting partnerships that we gained during the last month. So first of all, from our PMR, 46% of the people who we interviewed were interested in continuing cooperation with us. And then from the people we chose as our potential beta testers, 88% agreed to become our beta testers in the future. So we're getting ready to manufacture our first production units and ship them out to receive the beta test results. And then some even more exciting results are our new partnerships with Woodbury Forest School, a private boarding school in Virginia who is planning to test our product. And then give us feedback on it, and potentially become our customer in the future. They experience 3D printing failures in their education process all the time. V-Script is a company from Chicago who uses 3D printed parts for their mass production units, and then for them it's crucially significant to have their prints done on time and reliably. A Ventures is a venture capital fund who will provide us free legal advice. Lastly, MIT. We made some friends in the MIT makerspaces, and we're hoping to install our product in the MIT makerspaces to test it out and see how it works in real life conditions. And lastly, we have everybody in this room as a great network from MIT Launch.
So we have very few competitors, but there are definitely a few worth mentioning. Up there you can see MakerBot has released cameras in a few of their most recent models. However, this doesn't do very much in terms of functionality and is very limited in terms of its market share. Additionally, there is something called Octoprint, which is an open source software that hackers use to develop products that can control their printers, and they can use a live stream online. However, this doesn't actually monitor it for you. And what our product does is, instead of being a middleman for watching your printer, it actually watches your printer for you and tells you when it's failed, so you don't have to sit there and watch yourself. So our market is really incredible. The 3D printing industry is growing at an incredibly rapid rate at over about 30% a year, which is huge, and it's estimated to double by 2020. So this is an incredible market to get into, and we think there's definitely a space for us. We see a $500 million market, and as we start working on some of the niche markets, we're working down at an $8 million level right now, but we're hoping to expand in the future.
So after our 5-year projection, net income is around $400,000, and we will do this with some really exciting plans that we have for the future. As soon as launch is over, we plan to launch a Kickstarter to gain traction for our product. After that, we will obviously begin manufacturing and begin to export this product. We're looking into aluminum casing, as well as more proprietary hardware that will allow us to produce our product for a cheaper price. Obviously, we'll launch e-sales on Amazon and our own e-commerce websites. Also, in terms of product plans, we have some really interesting innovations that are in the making, and we are excited to launch after our Keystone product. We think this is a really exciting invention. Again, we are Avanti 3D, and thank you for your time.
Wow, extremely impressive what these students have been able to do in such a short period of time. The future is in good hands, for sure. Let's just give all these students another round of applause. And I'm really impressed just by both the range of types of problems that students have chosen to solve, but then also how they're going about trying to solve those problems. It's just really impressive to see, and I know that's one of the things I've been most encouraged by of the Launch alumni is that it's more than just entrepreneurship. It's seeing the world in a new way. It's seeing problems and opportunities differently, and taking action to be able to be the pioneer of your own destiny as well as of different challenges you see in the world. And I'm really encouraged by all of the companies that we've seen here today, and very much looking forward to any way that Launch will be able to support you all going forward as entrepreneurs and also as individuals. And to spread your love of entrepreneurship. I do have to do my bit of plug right now, where we have the Launch Clubs, which is where the actual inspiration for Launch Clubs originally came from, that even in our first year of launch, students would want to go back and share their love of entrepreneurship with their classmates. So they would take some of our materials back and get some of their classmates together to share. And so we decided to put some formalization around that. And just this last year, a few years into it, we already had 120 schools on board. This year we're capping it at around 500, have much more demand than that. But as Launch alumni, you'll get precedence over the other people that might try to apply. And we are planning on growing this significantly. In 5 years, we want to be in 20,000 schools. And just see so much opportunity for being able to leverage some of the folks like all of you in this room who have this drive and passion to want to change the world and to inspire other students with that same kind of problem-solving mentality, that same initiative and drive and just joy from being able to solve real-world problems. And so encourage all of you all to be able to start a club at your school, share your love of entrepreneurship with your classmates. And then that can be a great way also to be continuing your businesses through that continued support of Launch. Although we will be here in many more ways than that to be able to help support you all going forward. So with that, we do have a bit of extra time here, but I will allow you all that bit of extra time. We do have the dinner this evening at 6 p.m. So 6 o'clock at the Media Lab. No need to arrive early to that. We'll open doors at 6. And let's see here. Does that cover things that we need to share here? I think that covers it. All right, so parents, students, everyone, we'll see you at the Media Lab, 6th floor at 6 o'clock. Thank you.